Good morning to all my road pirates, lying scum. United States District Court, District of Maine, Bryce Cantrell, one of the people, Civil Noah, 223 CV 00283 SDN, Brunswick, Maine Police, ET, AL, public notice of treason, due process rights violations, common law protections, Hoke versus Henderson, 15 NC 1525 AM DD DEE 677, liberty taken away, February 23rd, 2020, complaint unanswered to date. Federal Rule 5.1, constitutional challenge of state laws, statutes. Disorderly conduct in the First District is unconstitutional. Fourth Amendment violations by Corey Isles, Patrick Scott. Conspiracy against rights. Judges interpret the Constitution. They cannot make law on the bench. They do not rule above the law. Mulberry versus Madison. Maxims of law. No free man shall be deprived of life, liberty, or property, but by lawful judgment of his peers. Impoundment by police is stealing. Statutes and codes are for government only. We, the people, are living, breathing people. Not all caps name straw men. That's a fraud. You operate under fraudulent maritime admiralty law. We're not in the military. Your courts have the gold fringed American flag hanging in the courtroom. That is the flag of war. You are warring on my people in every single courtroom. U.S. Constitution, Article 2, Maryland versus Louisiana, 451 U.S., 725, 726, 101 SCT, 2114, 68L ED 2D 576. 1981. State statutes that are repugnant to the Constitution are null and void. Scott Stewart threatened me with arrest for flipping him off and calling him an effing liar in town hall. For that statute. That is null and void. He refused to identify as law enforcement. He is a criminal and should be arrested this very minute. Federal law prohibits the clerk from refusing to file my paperwork 3 times under Federal Rule 5D 4, Bounds versus Smith, McCrae versus Maryland, and Title 18 USC 2071. That brings us right back to deceptive practices. Federal crime, custodians to willfully conceal, mutilate, or falsify public records. 118 times. 118 felonious accounts. Brunswick Police. Treason. Whenever a judge acts of treason. U.S. versus Will. 449 U.S. 200. 216, 101 SCT 471 66 LED 2D 392 406 1980. Cohen versus Virginia 19 U.S. 6 week 264 404 5 LED 257 1921. Any judge or attorney who does not report the above judges for ignoring fraud, has ignored treason, and they themselves may be guilty of fraud upon the court. Case void for fraud. Fraud evidence provided by Brunswick, Maine police is fraudulent. Bryce Cantrell is a witness, as well as all my witnesses, 17 witnesses, who have not been before the court. This fraud consists to injure a 60-year-old handicapped Bryce Cantrell. No ADA accommodations have been made in federal court or state court. Right? That's a crime, an international crime against humanity. Everything you've done to me. February 23rd, 2020. Melissa Cantrell suffered a tort as Adam Merrill deprived me of my rights, denied freedom, denied information, never told my wife where I was, constructive kidnapping, for profit, international law, negligence, held for ransom, Mayer versus Hibernia Insurance Company, 67 New York, 292. See also Alexander versus Church, 53 Connecticut, 1st District, 501 for ALT, 103 Studer versus Blenstein, 115 New York, also 1st District, 316 22 XE 243 7 LAR. Fraud to do harm to Bryce Cantrell. 118 counts. Denied rights guaranteed under federal law. Greenwood versus Peacock, 1966. 384 US 808 16 LED 2D 944686 SCT 1800. Any attempt to jail, threaten to jail, or July of 2023 at Town Hall. Scott Stewart threatened to jail Bryce Cantrell for redress of lying government. Him! For null and void disorderly conduct, coercion, payment of a civil debt violates due process. Burdine versus Georgia, and is void for lack of jurisdiction. 28 U.S. Code 454, practice of law by justices and judges, June 25th, 1948, CH 64662, Stat 908. Right? They have called me names, called me incomprehensible, ignored my 128 gigabyte thumb drive of my phone. Are you April's friend? Yeah, you are. I know you. April Burgess. Oh, nice people. April told me she, if that's her, supposed to be a redhead. It looked like it might be red hair. She's been abused by police and has a warrant that they're going to serve on her. Yeah, she's going to the police station. Supposedly, they've arrested her 4 times for drug possession in the last month. Just racking the charges up, stacking them against her.
County 1083. 16. We made temp 2908767 and 2908767.
Okay, 7th Amendment.
Location. I'm winless.
I think he said Windlass Street. Seventh Amendment preserves Bryce Cantrell's right to a jury trial in federal civil cases, lawsuits. Disputes exceeding $20, it
104, County.
prevents judges from having sole power.
Going to be clearing. Blackton's is loading up the vehicle now in the rest area.
All right, that's the guy who ran into the guardrail earlier. So, see, they're going to summary judgment today, and this should arrive in time, right? So again, Seventh Amendment right preserves Bryce Cantrell's right to a jury trial in federal civil cases, lawsuits. Disputes exceeding $20. It prevents judges from having sole power to decide these disputes. I demand my witnesses be heard in open court. Both cases, sections 3-8 of the FJAA ensures that state statutes cannot be used to override my federal protections. You can't say I have unclean hands for swearing at Scott Stewart for redress of lying government. That's what the judge said, that I have unclean hands because I cursed at him. So they're using a statute to destroy my rights. I made no agreement with any of these lying lawyers. Portland police should go right over to that office, Drummond and Woodsum, and arrest the whole bunch of them for violating our rights. It prevents judges from having sole power to decide these disputes. I sued for $4 million in the 1983 one that I'm talking about right now, and 246 is down to $2 million. It was $4 million, but since they dismissed Commander Paul Hansen and Scott Stewart from that one, I was unable to stop them. Right? So, state statutes cannot be used to override federal protections of Bryce Cantrell. And I have clean hands. Use of disorderly conduct to say otherwise is null and void. Fraud upon the court makes void the orders and judgments of that court. The people of the state of Illinois versus Freddie Sterling. 357 Illinois, 354, 192 NE, 229, 1934. The maxim that fraud vitiates every transaction which it enters, applies to judgments as well as to contracts and other transactions. Allen versus Moore versus Stanley, F. Siebers, 336 Illinois, 316, 168 NE. Brunswick's toning out.
Brunswick Fire Rescue 126 Pegasus Street, Unit M as in Mary 8. 26-year-old female, she's not conscious, but it sounds like she's breathing.
Uh-oh. So that could be 26 years old and she's unconscious, so that's probably self-administered drugs. Okay. So this brings me to the last page of this public notice of treason,
County, you'll be clear to stop.
due process violations. They cannot do summary judgment on this case because of
Pegasus Street, Unit M as in Mary 8. And it's going to be for 26-year-old female, not conscious, but breathing.
recusal under section 455 is self-executing. A party need not file an affidavit in support of recusal, and the judge is obligated to recuse themselves sua sponta under the state denied binding precedent. Because they denied my binding precedent, which was First District, 2 journalists in Boston, they're getting a second rescue. I hope they get there in time. Get the Narcan in her. Obligated to recuse themselves sua sponta, on the spot, under the stated denied binding precedent. Taylor.
I'll be at 153 Honeywell.
Her dogs now so that they don't impede rescue coming in. She was trying to get them put away.
Right. So that case is well, they got the fire truck going too. They're afraid that their dogs are going to bite people too. So poor rescue. Wow. Everybody's going. Fire chief, the works. Binding precedent, Taylor v. O'Grady, 888 F2D 1189 7th, 1989. Oh, look, it's Patrick Scott getting in the police car over there. All right. I got one more to go through. Thanks for listening, Brucey. There's 2 watching. No, I'm waiting. I called. I called Todd Ridlin at 8 o'clock, and he didn't answer the phone.
Have you got the 2 roads that go out to Dean Street?
Yeah, looks like he's going too. Whoo! Right on their bumper. Whoop, 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 whoop.
Yep, those go to the 2 playgrounds, and I got those.
All right, I got my Freedom of Information Act request, December 18th, 2025, Advanced Auto Parts, Cook's Corner parking lot. Summons Noah. Well, there's the chief for Todd. Far too busy to call me, huh? Oh, it's animal control. Sorry. Summons Noah J 296347. Felonious summons to court for no crime committed. To cover up the assault by an officer, Nathan Day, any and all body-worn camera. 3 officers arrested a juvenile female. Officer Nathan Day body slams her to the pavement head first. Attempted murder with pavement as the weapon. She is 95 pounds and 5'3". Zach Perry witnessed, Advanced Auto Parts employee witness. Some 8 people inside the store witnessed also. What are you going to do? Murder them all? So this has been sent to the DA's office. I tried calling there too. And to no effect. Oh, I should have locked it down. I got to reset that. 2 officers, failure to intervene. Section 242 violation. 5:45 till 6:30 p.m. Also summons Noah J 321261. Plummer versus the state 136 Indy 306. Florida versus Rover US 491 1983 Brady versus Maryland, 1963. Sharir versus Cullen, 481 F 945. Town office denied FOIA, January 6th. Victim of Nathan Day after I, Bryce Cantrell, requested he be put on the Brady list. Brady list is not effective in the state of Maine, and you can't request anyone to be on there. That accountability reporting page that I posted last night is an auditor in the state of Maine who's created a page to post all of these transgressions against we the people, assault by officers and stuff like that, and then to write lying court summons when you did nothing wrong. Just Officer Day pointing and shouting in her face was felony coercion against rights for no crime committed. Just that, let alone touching her and body slamming her. That's attempted murder in my eyes. Attempted murder of a juvenile. Under my watch, I don't think so, Tim. All right. United States District Court, District of Maine. Bryce Cantrell, one of the people, versus Sybil Noah, 223 CB 00283 SDN. And I believe I made a 246 copy of what I previously read, and it included names of officers involved in that. Okay. Brunswick, Maine Police, ETAL. Emergency injunction, fraud, evidence tampering, due process violations, biased judgments, evidence ignored, rights violations ignored. Bryce Cantrell's liberty taken by force, February 23rd, 2020. No crime, no warrant, fraud in evidence. Booking room audio removed to hide failure to intervene. Left in handcuffs, crying in pain. 17 minutes after 000 breath test. This fraud caused Bryce Cantrell to record.
I was able to get a couple new phone numbers from a neighbor and left messages.
Hello.
Hello? Hi, I'm looking to speak to Mr. Cantrell.
Yep, you're speaking to him.
Hi, it's Deb calling you from Town Hall.
How you doing?
I'm good.
Right.
So it looks like there's a message here that you said you were requesting a meeting with Julia.
Sure, yep.
Yeah. Unfortunately, we can't meet with you right now because I guess there's an outstanding case against the town.
Yes, there is. They're going
to.
They're going through summary judgment today.
Yeah. Okay.
So
you'll have to go through your lawyer until that is settled. Once that is settled, then we'll be able to meet with you. But until that is settled, unfortunately,
all I want to talk about is the concealment of public records, deceptive practice of law, FOIA 18 USC 2071, federal crime for custodians to willfully conceal, mutilate, or falsify public records. You're committing multiple felonies. You understand?
Okay.
Do you understand that?
I understand what you're saying.
You've committed 118 felonies in 5 years, all containing evidence that would create the win in federal court for me. Right? The judgment, any judgment against me is going to be null and void. Null and void. Right? Okay? You understand that?
Okay.
You guys have destroyed my rights. Destroyed them. Right? This is willful. This is willful. Every single one of you, every single one in the town office who's laid hands on any of my paperwork. Right? Oh, did you hang up?
No, I'm still here.
Okay. Okay. Every single one of you guys are committing felonious federal crimes, willfully concealing, mutilating, falsifying public records. Right? All the evidence given to me by Casa X Parks from Drummond and Woodson lawyer, your lawyers, is modified by her personally. She told me she removed.
So you'll have to go through the lawyers because.
No, I don't. I do not have to go through the lawyers. You're a public official and you're going to listen to me. I have every right to say this. You are.
You do have every right to say that.
Yes, I do. Okay? I came over here Saturday and citizen arrested one of the officers and he fled the scene and left because you guys are encrypting radio transmissions, which are public records, to conceal officers committing crimes against humanity. I'm a 60-year-old handicapped man, and they're spotlighting me, telling me where to stand on sidewalks, and not letting me know their locations of their violations of other people's rights, which is the entire purpose of recording police. Right? Every single person in the Brunswick police station is committing felonious crimes, and they are hiding their locations of said traffic enforcements, violating everyone's Fourth and Fifth Amendment rights for no crime committed, no probable cause. You guys are knowingly and willfully concealing public records through encryption. All you got to do is flip the switch and make it analog live broadcast. Right? I insist. Do the right thing. Turn the encryption off. I'll only show up at OUIs and where I think that officers are violating people's rights. I won't go to anything else. It'll be very simple. I'll be professional, and any officer who identifies, I'll ask how long he's been in service. Right? How long have you been in the service? If he answers and gives me his name, I will honor him and ask, wonderful things, and he can shine one on for the department, right? Instead of spotlighting me and jumping in their police cars and never saying who it is, right? They are public servants, and when I ask for their identity for the record, they don't give it. Right? Chief Scott Stewart doesn't let me do that. He said they don't have to identify. Yes, they do under the Constitution. If they are a member of law enforcement, right? I'm there in my Fourth Amendment peace, not bothering or hurting a soul, right? I have every right to ask, who is that over there torturing one of my people, right? Putting torture cuffs on so tight that their hand turned blue. That just happened 6 weeks ago, right? Alex done something. He was put in cuffs for, he said 3 hours, 2.5 hours. He is a co-worker of mine, right? He was driving without a license, and he was stopped by Officer Day right here on Pleasant Street. They handcuffed him, and 2.5 hours in there, arrested him, impounded his vehicle, right? And I've been following the sheriffs all weekend because their radio's not encrypted. And I was deputized by Saginaw County Sheriff on Friday night as they let a person park their vehicle with no license, speeding, a loud muffler. And I looked it up. Oh, they're constitutional officers. They don't impound vehicles. They don't steal people's vessel under Admiralty law, impound it over at the criminal Atlantic Coast Towing Service, right? They impound their vehicle and then they steal items from it while in bailment. I have video of that. You use a criminal Atlantic Coast Towing Service that violates the heck out of everybody's rights. We have them on camera leaning a ladder up on a truck in bailment and using a Slim Jim to break into it, right? I asked the police to go over there and arrest them. They are criminals. Nope. Nobody listens to me, right? I'm 100% lawful. I got the Constitution right here, right? Free speech, First Amendment, freedom of the press. I am the press. I post live to the public right now. You are live on my show right now, right? So I want you to get on the phone right now, call the police station, and tell them to turn the encryption off right now, because they're all committing a felonious crime, patrolling the streets without a call for service, and stealing people's vehicles for the profit of the town. You guys are the pirate vessel. 16 USC 1654, arming and serving upon privateers. You're a corporation, Brunswick Town Incorporated in the 1800s. You're a private corporation, for profit, stealing the citizens' vehicles, right? Without due process. The side of the road is not a court. You have a 7th Amendment right to due process, and you can't take our property, right? I don't care about the statutes. Statutes and codes are for corporations. I'm not a corporation. I'm a living being, one of the people. You say an oath to uphold my rights. Okay? You are stealing people's vehicles and calling it bailment, right? You took my son's car in 2024, Nathan Day. He said the muffler was dragging on the ground. My daughter has pictures where that muffler was not dragging on the ground. Nothing was hanging out of that car. He lied on his police report, stole their vehicle, left them on the side of the road, walking with my 2 grandkids, right? You understand me? And it goes way more than this. When they impounded it over at Atlantic Coast Auto, someone took a big pry bar and ripped the exhaust off so it was hanging down at Atlantic Coast Towing. And when it went to the state inspection, the exhaust was dragging on the ground, just like the officer wrote in his ticket. Right on the ticket. Right? You understand? They stole his $5,000 Honda that was perfectly safe. No cracked windshield, no bald tires, the brakes were perfect. Right? They stole it. He lost his job. They lost their apartment. And they live with me now. Since Nathan Day stole their vehicle, right? With my 2 grandkids, 8 years old and 3-year-old, on foot for 7 months because of that, right? This is what you guys are doing to people. It's felonious. Oh, there's Mr. Ridlin right now, pulling in the police station. Hopefully he'll call me back. Thank you for listening. I really appreciate it. I don't mean to yell. This is how I come off. I have like mild Tourette's from a head injury in 2020. And this is how I talk. You know, I know it upsets people. I can't say enough. Thanks for letting me say what I wanted to say. This has been on my mind since last year. You know, you tortured my family. Nathan Day retaliated. He was laying in wait by my house. I ran him off several times in my Jeep. Get away from here. You're just laying in wait to try and hurt my people. And that's what he did. He's put Sam in handcuffs twice. Twice. The sheriff came up and was like, you have to uncuff him. He's done nothing wrong. He put him on so tight, it cut the circulation off on both hands. That's a permanent damage. You know? You hurt my people. For what? He didn't do nothing. He was traveling his 4th Amendment piece, wasn't speeding, wasn't doing anything wrong. My daughter was with him, and she had all the paperwork from court that they could be together. No more PFA, nothing. Right? Nathan Day got him out of their vehicle when they stopped at my house to do laundry. Laundry. And when they left, he chased them down and stopped them at the Harpswell line before they left his jurisdiction to torture my people in retaliation because I recorded him. Right? Those are felonious crimes that the federal court will not answer me about. Right? Oh no, we're going to go right into summary judgment, whether you like it or not. They can't do it.
16.
They can't do it. I sent them the paperwork.
My location.
Anyway, thank you so much again. I don't mean to hurt your ears. Please have a nice day.
Thank you. Have a good day as well.
Yeah, all right. I'll let you go. Thank you so much.
All right.
Goodbye. Bye. Oh, that felt so good. So good to be heard. Right? Torture and hurt my people because I recorded police. And I called him a road pirate as I drove by. How dare you put my people in handcuffs like that? For no crime committed. Sam is a good man, and he made a mistake. And for him to be treated like that is outrageous. Left him walking on the side of the road for 7 months, stole their vehicle. Oh, so good to say it. That was the town manager. And hopefully Mr. Ridland calls me back. I just called him. What time we got now? Okay, not quite 9 o'clock. I'll try the DA's office here in a little bit. I got a bunch of stuff I want to say to them. Probably go live when that happens too. Or for part of it anyway. The other part about Eminem, probably I won't go live over. But I'd like to reference the 120-page packet that I delivered in 2024 or late in 2023. Never acknowledged me. The DA ignores me. Whatever. What's her name? I got it right here. Stephanie Anderson. Okay. I went right in her office, asked to talk to her in federal court, where they denied me my rights at the door and assaulted me with their metal detector and take everything out of your pockets, violating the Fourth Amendment, all on camera. That's why I don't want cameras in the courthouse, because they're violating every single person, one of the people, when you go in the courthouse. Right? Metal detector is an invasion of our body. We've committed no crime. There shouldn't be a metal detector. You should be able to wear a pistol on your hip and go right in the courtroom. And bring a length of rope fashioned into a noose. So when the judge commits treason in open court, like happened in Zoom court with Judge Wolf, then we can hang them for treason. Right? Should be able to walk right in there with a piece of rope sufficient to hang them from the light post. Right? You violate our rights. Every single courthouse should be able to go in there with a firearm on our hip, because this is the government telling us we can't go in there with a firearm because they're going to do bad stuff to you. They're going to violate your rights. They're violating your rights as soon as you get there and say, all rise. You keep your butt in the chair. You don't recognize their authority. I do not understand. That's what you say to the judge. I don't know what you're talking about. You're speaking Latin. Legalese is the language of the court. Right? I've been studying it for 3 years now. Legalese. Right? It's a foreign language. None of us speak foreign languages. We don't speak Latin or legalese. So what you do, as soon as the judge says, do you understand the charges against you? Do you stand under the charges? You say, hell no, I don't understand. The hell are you talking about? Why does the state need $152 for a light bulb? Huh? Why is that, Mr. Wolf? And you don't want to say your oath of office, and you don't want to admit you're standing under maritime admiralty law because I'm a civilian. I'm not at war, but you're at war with us. That gold fringe American flag is the flag of war. U.S. flag of war, gold fringed admiralty law, flag of war. Oh, there's Mr. Riddlin again. You think he's going to answer my phone call? So there, now I've asked the town office to end encryption right now because they're all committing felonies, hurting my people, accosting them, stealing their property without due process, and hiding it. Concealment of public records is a felony. And they're committing it this very minute, this very day. All right, I'm going to shut down and see if he calls, and then I'll go back live.